The customers wanted some serious advice. They weren't aware of all of the specs of each and every iPad. What's better to learn about it than from a specialist? Sure, the customer might have their share of knowledge, but nothing hurts to confirm our research, right? Luckily for them, they got greeted the second they stepped into the store. This will inevitably bring them closer to their goal: buy the best iPad for their father. As it is specified that the employee has a certain age, the customer probably put their judgment on it. This directly affected the level of trust engaged in this communication. They might have thought he was too old to acknowledge, or, on the contrary, they could have thought he had experience and knew what he was talking about. Sadly, we do not have the full context of the story, so we can't have a full perspective of the client's point of view and cannot go further in detail with this sphere of the communication. Anyhow, as the questions went through, the information followed right, and nothing seemed off or biased. The client still kept their attention on the salesman to make sure everything was alright and that he was not about to get scammed. Just as they thought everything was going perfectly planned, realization hits. The employee is flat out lying to them. Luckily for them, they noticed. Otherwise, it would have slipped right under their nose and would have to pay extra without it being profitable to them. Thinking it would be helpful, they corrected the employee. This way, they could go back on track. However, that didn't go how they thought it would. The grown adult backtalked to an adolescent. An immediate break of trust happened right there. They knew they couldn't rely on the employee anymore. Instead of making a fuss in public, they thought it would be more professional to just let him talk to the void. What he said entered from an ear and left from the other. It would bring absolutely nothing out of it to argue with the salesman, so why do it? In the end, the lack of reliability from the salesperson completely ruined their plan of getting new information, and they just went with what they had and knew, leading to the base model iPad.